Hello and thank you for joining us on Newsweek, where we highlight some of the biggest stories that made the headlines recently. I am Mark Otabo. This week, federal government begins payment of new minimum wage, approves new 77,000 naira monthly allowance to corps members. Also, judge remits case filed back to CJ as Southeast monarchs seek solution to insecurity, call for Nnamdi Kanu's release. And later on the show, federal government suspends senior prisons officials over Bob Risky's bribery allegations. All the details in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back. The federal government approved the increase of monthly allowances for corps members from 33,000 naira to 77,000 naira with effect from July 2024. The increment came in line with the enactment of the new National Minimum Wage Amendment Act 2024. Following President Bola Tinubu's assent to the new minimum wage bill in July 2024, there was speculation suggesting a corresponding increment in corpers' wages. NYSC, however, maintained that only the federal government could determine the wages for corps members. And of course, joining us to discuss this is Justice Ojeno. He's a lawyer and a legal practitioner right here in the studio. It would be good to have you on the show.
It's my pleasure to join you.
Fantastic. And I also have Ibrahim Garba, a communications consultant, live at our studio in Abuja. Good to have you on the show, Ibrahim.
Thank you for having me, Mark Otabo.
Fantastic. All right, now let me begin with you. Now, the federal government has commenced the payment of the new monthly allowance for corps members. Now, recall that initially it was quite uncertain from speculations whether or not their wages would increase. Now, what impact do you think this will have on the overall welfare of corps members in Nigeria?
Well, thank you very much. Yes, this is happening at the right time because for quite a while, the corps members have been anticipating some of these increases, right from 33,000 naira to 70,000 naira. I must commend the effort of the NYSC DG, Brigadier General Y.D. Ahmed, who has been pushing forward to ensure that the corps members at least have a place in our society. You know, they've been doing so well over the years, and the state of the economy now demands that we review allowances going to corps members and all those involved as stakeholders. I think I will commend the federal government in this direction, and I still believe government will still look inwards towards increasing it, subsequently, so that at the end of the day, they'll be able to smile home with something. It's a tough one, but again, this should serve as a springboard for corps members to perform well and live across board. Mark.
All right. Now, this commencement should spread across board, but there are still fears that some governors are still dragging their feet and making excuses as to why they might not be able to pay. Now, what do you foresee in the long run?
You see, all this back and forth is not necessary now. It's a federal government, authorization. And corps members serving in each state of the federation, they are there to add value. After 7, 4, 5 years in the university and graduating, they are there to add value to the system. So we should do something. The governors are talking about governors, for instance, not living up to this mandate given by the federal government of Nigeria. Is rubbishing on the efforts of the federal government. So I think it's time for us to create a synergy between the federal and the subnationals. I believe with the vote and monies coming for the state government, they should be able to, help these corps members at least to pay these wages. 77,000 is not much. After all, the new minimum wage is put at 70,000 naira. These corps members, at the end of every year, at the end of 1 year, at least they should be reintegrated into the system again. So I think it's too early for the governors to begin to cry out over what is not even supposed to be, something that is not supposed to be debated or talked about. We should begin to encourage these young people, at least.
All right. Now, Justice General, I have to take you up on this quickly. Now, apart from the implementation of the new allowance for corpers, what else should the government be looking at in terms of welfare of corps members?
Okay, for me, don't even let me put it alone at the doormouth of the government. usually, majority of these corps members actually work for private organizations.
Okay.
These private organizations should try to do better. Yes, the government is paying 77. Why not try to match it better and bring them in line with the economic realities of the country? But as for the government, we can also try to explore maybe little things as when it comes to transportation, especially where government transportation is provided, can we let corps members ride on for free? For example, BRT in Lagos, can they say, okay, I'm a corps member, let the state governors at least bear that for free? Some other things that other persons maybe statutorily have to pay higher for.
That's a brilliant idea.
Just because they are corps members, they should be able to enjoy some subventions, because after all, they are actually serving the nation. The amount of 77,000 naira is not sufficient to pay a person who has put in that level of education and qualification ordinarily. It is cheap labor. Okay. It is cheap labor to pay 77,000 naira. But again, we are seeing it that they are serving their nation. So in doing that, any other way that they can be compensated, I urge that they be compensated. If accommodation is to be provided by maybe their private employers or even state government employers, they work in primary schools, they work in secondary schools, why not provide it for them, make their lives easier so that they can be more productive?
All right. Now, Ibrahim Garba, if you heard Justice Ujona very well, he did say that, look, I think it's about time we, inculcate other plans for the corps members to enjoy this new minimum wage after all, because at the end of the day, the money is being paid to them with the economic realities we have. It might be difficult for them to even cope with the money they have. So he's saying, look, why not have them, board transportation for free, get some things for free, and, some other freebies that the government should be able to handle that. Do you also buy that idea as well?
No, if you go around some of these ministries, departments, and agencies of government, you find out they are not finding it easy. Apart from Abuja, if you go towards the 36 states of the Federation, you find out some of these corps members, are not being properly integrated. Remember, they are moving from their own comfort zone to other areas. So sometimes you find out before settling down, to even get a place to serve is very, very difficult. So at the end of the day, we found out they spend weeks, months trying to settle down. So it is at this point we are asking that, first you should accept them after, coming out of school. They are there to serve, and consider, the fragile nature of the economy today, where things are becoming very difficult and expensive. We should encourage them, and at the same time we should accept them, and if possible, after completion of service, reintegrate them so that we can make their lives better. So some of these things they go through today, it can happen to anybody. It can be your daughter, it could be your child tomorrow. You can find yourself, in some other higher places. So the earlier we begin to look into these issues, the better for all.
Now, just before I let you go from this topic, I just remembered now that there were also suggestions that some of these corps members should also go through some form of military training as well. That, just having to come serve your country is not enough. In other climes, you have people serve. I remember when Song Heung-min of Tottenham Hotspur left the club to go serve the army.
Left football. It was a football.
To go serve the country and came back.
But again, in a manner of speaking, they are actually, it's quasi-military.
Okay.
When you pass through it, I passed through it, all the shawns and all the wake-up belly.
But those are just the basics. We're talking about going to the real drills.
Maybe we are not in a state of war. We are not in a situation where South Korea is. South Korea, he has as his neighbor North Korea, who is perpetually on a war stance. Yes, Israel too. They have that kind of situation where you have to go and serve for a protracted period, and you have to be military. You are always in a reserve. But we don't have that. We don't have. Ghana is not threatening us. Nigeria is not threatening us. So maybe we don't have to go through all that.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Now we take a time out now. Our Newsweek continues in a moment. Please do stay with us.